come to here. Yeah. This second half of the same page. Okay, here you write down, this is known as error of omission. Error of omission. Okay, omission, the word omission comes from the word omit, right? It comes from the word omit, which means leave out. Okay, you have missed it. Okay, so what does this error mean? It says a transaction has not been recorded at all because it has been left out, omitted. That means the question has not done debit entry. It has also not done the credit entry. So yeah, this is error of omission. They have not done debit entry. They have also not done the credit entry. Okay, both of you can understand the meaning of this error?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, simple, yeah? Simple and straightforward for this. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to tell you how to do correction. Okay, we just focus on understanding what these errors mean. Next, go to the next page. Okay, here, the second one, write down. This is error of complete reversal. Error of complete reversal. Okay, is it? This is also self-explanatory. I mean, if you look at the term of the, if you look at the name of the error, it can be easily understood. Explanation, both the debit entry and the credit entry were reversed, but the amounts are correct. Amounts entered for both entries are correct. Okay, here is an example. Selling goods for cash of 400. Okay, so this is what question would give to you. Okay, question would give you the transaction. And then they will tell you what they did. They will tell you what they did. So you see, they debited cash account and credited sales account. So it's wrong, right? They are supposed to do what? They are supposed to debit cash and credit sales account, but they have made it the other way around. They have made it the other way around. But are the amounts correct? Yes, amounts are still correct. Okay, so this is error of complete reversal. So both of you can understand this error. Simple. You have any question about this error of complete reversal?
No.
Okay. No question. Yeah. Okay. Good, Razin. Okay, Joshua. Okay, right? With this one. Simple.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Good. Now, these two, the first two are still considered simple. Okay. Omission, complete reversal, very simple. Okay. Now, next one. This is known as error of original entry. Okay, write down error of original entry. Okay. Before I explain to you what is meant by this error, I have to tell you how they created the name of this error. Okay, how they came up with this name, error of original entry. What you were learning on Sunday right now is what we call as the books of prime entry. Okay, what you were learning on every Sunday's lesson nowadays, you were learning books of original entry. Or you call it as the books of prime entry. These two are synonym of one another. Books of original entry means the same as books of prime entry. So remember, there are a total of 7 books of prime entry: the sales journal, sale return journal, purchase journal, and purchase return journal, cash book, general journal, and one more petty cash book. Okay, all these names must remember. Okay, there are many vocabulary to memorize. Okay, so that's how this name of error comes about. You see, error of original entry means you must have made some mistake in the book of prime entry. That means when you record something into book of prime entry, you have recorded wrongly. Okay, because prime entry means original entry. Okay, they are synonym to one another. So that's the reason that they have this name of error of original entry. I give you an example. Okay, before that, we read the explanation. Explanation says the amount of transaction was recorded. This means if with error. This means if error. From source document means business document. Okay, you add a few words behind into books of prime entry. Amount of transaction recorded with error into the books of prime entry. Whenever you have business document, you must first record into the books of prime entry. This is what you learn from the part 4. Let me show you. Okay, in Sunday's lesson, you learn from part 4, first page. Okay, this flowchart tells you how the entire process of accounting work. Okay, how the entire process of accounting work, you can get it from this flowchart. You must first have business transaction, events that happen in business. And then, as a consequence of having business transaction, you must have business documents as the evidence of things happen in business. Evidence of all the things that happen in business. Okay, that's business document. With business document, you don't immediately debit an account and credit an account. Okay, with business document, you don't immediately debit an account and credit an account. Instead, you record into one of the 7 books of prime entry. Okay, when you have document, you must choose a book of prime entry to record it. Okay, you must choose a book of prime entry to record your business document. Okay, now coming back to here. So this error is about you have recorded the amount wrongly when you are recording the document into the books of prime entry. Amount is recorded wrongly into the books of prime entry. Okay, here is an example. It says purchase invoice for goods received from Ali was recorded as 421. 421 is the wrong amount. This is the correct amount, right? So this is the example of error of origin entry. Later, I will give you some questions to try, okay, to see if you really have understood what I have explained here. Okay, so for now, yeah, that's error of origin entry. Okay, both of you, for now, you have any question about this error?
No.
Okay, for now, no, yeah, okay, good. Okay, remember, error of origin entry means from document, you record wrongly into the book of prime entry. Okay, of course, you must understand.
Does that mean that's like completely wrong? Like all the details are wrong?
Only amount is wrong. Only amount is wrong. For example, yeah, correct. For example, purchase invoice means you buy goods on credit. Okay, purchase invoice means you have bought goods on credit. And this is supposed to be recorded into purchases journal. Purchases journal. So when you record into the purchases journal, you use the wrong amount. You use the wrong amount. Okay, so the amount is wrong. Okay, now next 2 errors are the ones that give a lot of confusion to students. Okay, but if you follow my way of interpreting them, then I think you should have no problem. Okay, the next 2, they are like brothers and sisters to one another. Okay, so I'm going to explain these 2 together. Okay, on this page, this is page 180. Okay, you go up and fill up the blanks first. Here you write, this is error of commission. This is error of commission. This is error of principal. Error of commission, error of principal. Okay, for these 2 errors, I'm not able to explain to you how they came up with the names of these errors, okay? Because I do not know. I do not know. Okay, so but I can explain to you what are the examples of this error and how do you classify them. Okay, when you get an error, how do you know whether it's error of commission or it's an error of principal? Okay, before we read the explanation, we look at the examples first. Through the example, you can better understand the difference between these 2 errors. Okay, so error of commission and error of principal, they are quite similar to one another, but different. Okay, let me highlight them. Error of commission, error of principal. Okay, we focus on the example that is under the error of commission first. Okay, I'm not going to zoom in. Hope you can see here. Okay, because I want you to see the comparison. Purchase invoice 412 for goods was received from Ali. That means you have received the invoice from Ali. We are the customer. We are customer. We buy goods on credit from Ali. We buy goods on credit from Ali. Okay, so the question told you, the question would tell you that they have debited purchases and credit Alibaba account. But the correct entries are supposed to be debiting purchases and credit Ali account. Okay, that's what I call as what should be done. Okay, the should be done entries are debit purchases, credit Ali account. But instead, they debited purchases and credit Alibaba. So where is the mistake? The mistake is the name of the account. Okay, instead of Ali, they credited Alibaba account. Okay, which is another person's account. That's the mistake. Okay. But so this Ali account is the correct account. Okay, this is the correct account. This Alibaba is the wrong one. The mistake made by them. Even though they have credited Alibaba account, which is the wrong account, but we can say that these two accounts belong to the same category. What do I mean by category? Because both of these accounts are person's name account, which is why we say that they belong to the same category. So that's the reason this is error of commission. When both the correct and the wrong account belong to the same category, we say that is error of commission. Okay, so you have it in your mind first. Yeah. Now I explain the error of principle. Then you can make a comparison. Then you can easily see what is error of commission, what is error of principle. Okay, so for now you take it as it is. That's error of commission when both the wrong and correct account belong to the same category. Like in this case, Ali is a person's account. Alibaba is also a person's account. So we call this as error of commission. Now look at the one at the bottom. Error of principle. I have the same transaction here. Purchase invoice 412 for goods was received from Ali. This means the same as we buy goods on credit. We buy goods on credit from Ali. So the supposed entries are what I mentioned earlier. Should debit purchases and credit Ali account. But what they did, they debited furniture and credited Ali account. So where is the mistake? The mistake is they have debited furniture account. There's something wrong, right? They should debit purchases account, but they debited wrong. But they debited furniture account. This is their mistake. So let me write it here. This is their mistake. They should have debited purchases account, but they go and debited furniture account. Okay, now we analyze. So we know that this is the correct one, right? Okay, they are supposed to debit purchases account. Okay, that's the correct account that they should have chosen. But they debited furniture account. That's the wrong account, right? Okay. Do they belong to the same category? Answer is no. The correct account purchases is an expense. On another hand, furniture is an NCA. So we would say that they are belonging to different categories of accounts, different categories of items. The correct account purchases is an expense. The wrong account furniture is an NCA. So they belong to different categories of items. We say that this is error of principle. Now you compare with the one on top. For the one on top is where both the wrong and the correct account belong to the same category. We call it as error of commission. If different category, we call it as error of principle. So for all of you, you have any question? You try to digest.
I understand for the most part for these two.
Okay, good. Joshua, what about you? Later when you try the question, okay, good. So later when you try the questions, then you would know better whether you have really understood or not. Okay, so for now we learn all these errors first. Then when you go do the questions in classifying all these errors, then you will become better. Okay, so for now you take it as it is. Last error. Look at page 181. Here you write, it doesn't start with the word error. For this one, it starts with the word compensating. For all other errors earlier, we start with the word error, right? For this one, it's different. We call it as compensating error. Okay, compensating error. Compensating means offsetting one another, right? Offsetting, compensating. Okay. So you read the explanation here. It says, at least two transactions must exist to give rise to this type of error. And then it says both transactions recorded with error, but both errors cancel out one another. Cancel out means offset one another. Okay, I have an example here. When you have gone through this example with me, you should have understood this error. T1 stands for transaction 1, T2 stands for transaction 2. So as always, question would give you transaction and they will also tell you what they have done. Pay just go with a check of 569. This is what they are supposed to do, right? They should credit bank 569 and debit purchase go 569. But what they did, they credit bank account with 569, but they debited just go account with the wrong amount. Okay, so this is the mistake. It is in excess of how much? Try to calculate is in excess of how much? The correct amount is 569, right? Do you get 27? Hello? Able to get 27? You agree? Is in excess of 27?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah? Okay, good. So, okay, so focus. Here for transaction 1, debit entry is in excess of 27. Okay, now error 2. So, sorry, the transaction 2. Receive interest in cash of 659. So, debit cash, credit interest received, these are what they are supposed to do. Then we see what they did. They debited cash correctly. Okay, good. But they credited interest received account with the wrong amount once again. Anybody? This is in excess of how much?
$190.
Sure, is in excess of 190.
No, 190, just 90.
The correct amount is 659.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
This is the correct amount, but they credited interest received with 686. So it's in excess of how much?
30.
No, 27. You need to use your calculator. 27.
Wait.
You take 686. Take 686.
86. Sorry, 86. I wrote 96.
Okay. So you do the deduction, you get 27. So this is compensating error. The trial balance would still be balanced even though compensating error exists. You see, for transaction 1, the debit entry is in excess of 27. Transaction 2, credit entry in excess of 27. So do they offset one another? Answer is yes. Okay, so this is compensating error. When you are trying to identify compensating error, it's quite easy to spot them. Later, when you see a question, which asks you to classify, whenever you see that throughout the same paragraph, when they talk about two things that are very different from one another, in the same paragraph, when they talk about two things that are very different from one another, there is very always that is a compensating error. Okay, that means you are looking at two transactions within the same paragraph. That's very obviously a compensating error. Okay, so this is compensating error. Now I bring you to the questions. I let you try to classify